Good defense by Booker on that back cut. Porter fading away on the baseline. Nothing but net for Otto Porter Jr.
A few moments later.
But they'll switch back. Little heat check. Oh! Wow. Otto Porter looks at the Phoenix bench and says, I'm not with you guys. Rain back to Porter. Heat check. Why not? Otto Porter looking at the crowd here in the Valley saying, you gotta know about me now.
You remember when the Suns got single-handedly cooked on Christmas Day by Otto Porter Jr.? It might seem like a really distant memory, but it only happened a little more than 2 years ago. So what happened to this guy? And does this former Bradley Beal teammate fit the Suns' plans / needs going forward? Especially considering he is on the verge right now of being bought out by the Jazz after his 2 seasons with the Raptors. Sundo and I covered 3 other buyout candidate options earlier this week and embarrassingly included Davis Bertans, forgetting that the second tax apron prevents the Suns from signing him. With Otto, the Suns would be clear of that. Now, there's not much to speak of about his time in Toronto because in those 2 seasons, he only played a combined 23 games. He's just been plagued by injuries after somehow the Warriors were able to get 63 games out of him in 1 season. I believe the year before he went to the Warriors, he played 2 games all season. With the Warriors, he averaged a modest 8.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. But ask any Warriors fan how helpful he was in winning their last title, which of course is all that matters to the Suns for this 2 to 3 year window of Durant's greatness that is not yet dwindling. I'm gonna explain how Otto potentially fits the Suns' needs. But first, this video is brought to you by Prize Picks, where I'm on a little bit of a hot streak. I've won 3 out of my last 4. You can pick between 2 and 6 players, and whether or not they'll score more or less than their Prize Pick projection. I personally like to play with 5 players. And here's what I'm going with for tonight's Mavs vs Suns game. I'm picking Luka to get 42 combined points and assists. Honestly, I feel like he could go for 52 tonight versus the Suns. Devin Booker went crazy versus the Mavs last time they played on Christmas. He had 46 points, and it just felt like he finally figured out how to score against the Mavs. So I picked him to get 34 combined points and assists. And my guy Nurkic got kind of ran off of the court on Christmas. He only played 21 minutes and had 8 points to go along with 5 rebounds. I don't normally do this, but I'm picking him to get less than his projected 20 combined points and rebounds. I've got Kevin Durant getting more than 38.5, so he's got to get 39 points, rebounds, and assists. Pretty self-explanatory. I think he's capable. And I feel like Kyrie is going to be super excited to play versus the Suns. He missed that Christmas game. He's healthy now. So I'm picking Kyrie to get 26 points. Place entry, and boom, we're in. Use our link in the description, and Prize Picks is going to match you 100% up to $100. Or download the app and use promo code VALLEY. Shout out to Prize Picks. So for me, the question is simple with Otto Porter Jr. How healthy is he for real? Like, is this going to be another TJ Warren situation where his name is remembered fondly by the fan base, but in reality, he's truly just a shell of himself? Because if that's the case, the Suns should probably just keep searching that final piece. But if he's not that, if after researching the situation, you think that he at 30 years old is finally getting healthy for real and putting these injuries behind him, if you're James Jones, you should be blowing up his phone until he announces where he's going to sign. This is what James Jones gets paid to do, and I trust he'll be able to make that assessment correctly. Once again, I have to re-emphasize so that you don't forget, Suns options right now are capital E extremely limited. So like I was saying, he played 23 games for Toronto in the last season and more than a half. I did some research as to what Raptors fans think about his situation, and apparently a lot of them feel like he straight up stole their money and never wanted to be there in the first place. In fact, his wife is from Canada and might have actually talked him into it, which is not good. Doesn't mean he's not interested in playing serious basketball elsewhere for a potential championship team going forward, but it's not good. It's got Gary Payton II written all over it. Took a payday, but his heart was always in Golden State type of thing, which brings up another selling point for going after him. If he really has been playing possum in Canada, I wouldn't mind cock blocking him from going back to the Warriors. Just saying. And the hope is that he could provide in small doses what he did for them during their last title run. When healthy, he's a solid defender with incredible length. At 6'8", 230 pounds, he's a career almost 40% three-point shooter. He's a legit sharpshooter, shooting 39.7%. He's clearly the illegitimate offspring of Wilt Chamberlain, and did I mention the Suns' options are slim to nothing? I mean, I hear Suns fans actually calling for Saben Lee to get that final roster spot. And to that, I say, over my cold, dead, lifeless body. Just kidding, I'm not that against Saben Lee. I would just prefer greatly finding a potential real playoff piece. As hard as that is seeming to be,